Welcome back, everybody. Wall Street reform has passed in the House, and now it is on to the Senate. Senator Gregg joining us right now. And Senator, good morning.
Hi, Becky. How are you?
Very good. It's great to see you this morning.
Nice to see you.
So,
you know, I must say this before we start. I am stunned by this rapprochement between Joe and Steve. You know, I'm using, you know, a Washington word, rapprochement. It's French. But of course, the Obama administration wants to turn us into France, so it's very appropriate.
Oh, boy.
Oh,
maybe
boy.
Senator, maybe you can learn something about working with people and bipartisanship, seeing what's happening between Steve and I, right?
Yes,
because he's coming around to you.
You know, Red Sox fans, Yankees fans coming together. All is possible now.
Senator, rapprochement is not. It's really just détente, is what it is. We've decided to not.
Funny.
How
about
mutually assured?
Once again,
English? Another French word.
Yeah, another French word alluding to the Soviet Union, though.
Senator,
home state.
Do you have the
Becky,
votes?
you
Do you have the votes in the Senate to get this passed? I know you don't want it passed,
I certainly don't want to pass it.
I know.
I don't want to pass it, but I presume it will pass. When you've got the president behind something like this and you're 1 or 2 votes short, you almost always end up getting the votes, or somebody gets the votes. And I suspect the financial industry is probably so exhausted by this, and that they probably have the view, oh, well, just take it and get on with being able to be what we're supposed to be, which is creators of credit and jobs in this country, and try to put this behind them and live with it. So I suspect there is an exhaustion out there which will lead to some people saying, let's just get it done. But my view is that this is a lot more spending, it's a lot more government. It's going to lead to a tremendous contraction in credit over the next 18 months, I believe, for a variety of reasons, and that will cost us jobs.
You think it will lead to an actual contraction of credit, or it will lead to credit not being extended as quickly as it would have been otherwise?
Both. Absolutely both. You've got 3 areas where credit is going to be significantly curtailed, or at least contracted, or not put forward. First is in the derivatives area. There's clear it's going to be significantly more difficult to do derivatives in this country. You'll still be able to do them in Singapore and London. A lot of banks will benefit from that, especially the international banks. Second, the capital requirements. It's not really clear what they all mean, especially for middle-sized banks. It's going to be a very difficult time. And then thirdly, you've got the Volcker rule, which in concept is a great idea, but as they execute it, there's going to be a lot of uncertainty, and that means banks are going to be much more tentative in how they make loans because they're going to have to protect their capital. And so all these things are going to come together over the next 6 months to a year and a half, and I think contract credit in this country, which leads inevitably to less economic activity and, in my opinion, fewer jobs.
Judd, I saw some comments you made yesterday, some pretty heated comments about the idea of getting rid of the bank tax in favor of using TARP money and other issues. It's the idea of how you pay for this. Why don't you lay out what bothers you the most?
Well, it's breaking a covenant with the American people. When we passed TARP, I put the language in, it was agreed to. The money from TARP, as it was paid back in, was supposed to pay down the debt that we borrowed to pay for TARP. We borrowed that money from China and from the American people. And as the money was paid back, it was supposed to go to pay down that debt. Now they're using it to create new programs. That's totally inappropriate. It's inconsistent with what we said we were going to do with that money. And the American people understand intuitively that we're running up far too much debt. And when we commit to pay down debt with dollars coming in from TARP, we should do that. We shouldn't create a new program with it. And so I think we've violated a trust with the American people here. I think it's totally inappropriate.
What would you suggest, or how would you suggest they pay for it? Would you like to see that tax? Oh, go ahead.
Excuse me. I did offer an amendment in the committee to eliminate the TARP repayment and use that money for debt reduction, and to not increase the FDIC fee and double count that. They're double counting that. I mean, if we did this, what we're going to do in the public sector here with FDIC fees, if you did it in the private sector, you'd go to jail. Double counting the money. And I suggested that we replace those 2 sources of income, which are very questionable to begin with a real source of income, which is to curtail stimulus spending in 2012, 13, 14, 15 to the tune of $19 billion and pay for it with those dollars.
All right, Senator Gregg, thank you very much for your time, and it's great being in your town with you.
Always fun.